I would say that a vision board is so dull comparatively to a mind movie. I truly believe anyone can create a complete identity transformation because no matter where anyone's at, their next income level or their next visibility level or their next goal is going to require them to become a different identity. This is not woo-woo, this is science. Something you definitely have to implement in your morning routine is, I'm Alex Tripod and this is the Manifestation Game. After coaching thousands around the world and becoming one of the most trusted voices in manifestation, I realized you don't get what you want, you get what you embody. If you're a high-achieving business owner who knows they were born for more wealth, more impact, more freedom, this podcast will unlock the codes. So let's collapse timelines. Let's calibrate to the frequency of your future self because let's be honest, nothing is real. Everything's
a hologram.
Let's fucking go. Hey, beautiful soul. Welcome to another episode of the Manifestation Game. Today, I'm going to be taking you through step by step exactly what I do in my morning routine, which literally hasn't really changed all that much from 9 years ago when I completely rewired myself, recoded myself, transformed myself to go from someone that was literally earning, $900 a week, working 40 hours a week in my 9-to-5 job, and really shifted into my first 10K cash week within 3 months in my business. And now 9 years later, here I am still doing the same things, just a little bit more refined, and creating 300K months, serving humanity on a much bigger scale. So yeah, let's get into it. The first thing that I want to share with you is that I truly believe no matter who you are or what your circumstance is, when you have the right tools and processes and you have accountability, you have skin in the game, and you are consistent with yourself, I truly believe anyone can create a complete identity transformation. And the reason that we want to do this and the reason I want to share with you my morning routine is because identity creates reality. And so 9 years ago, within 30 days of doing this, what I call a bulletproof reprogramming system. Back then I used to call it my $1 million morning rituals, right? Because they used to make me feel like $1 million no matter what was going on the outside because I was feeling it, right? But literally 9 years ago, I felt like within 30 days I became a completely different person. It was like someone had cut open my skull, taken out my old brain and replaced it with a completely different brain, a brain that was like, I am literally going to change the world. I as someone that had like crazy certainty, like my certainty was unfuckwithable. And because of that certainty, that allowed me to just accelerate and quantum leap, right? So I also want to lay down here that even though in 30 days I saw a massive transformation with how I felt, I didn't start seeing results till about 2 to 3 months in. And this is really interesting because quantum physics tells us it takes anywhere between 6 to 8 weeks for the metaphysical and the physical to start aligning, meaning how we're feeling on the inside could take 6 to 8 weeks for it to start showing up in your reality. And I just decided I wasn't going to give up. I just decided I was going to be consistent. And this is what I see with so many people. We're lacking discipline, or you actually are kind of like dabbling. You're dabbling in a morning routine. You kind of have one. You kind of do it sometimes, right? Where when you actually know what to plug into, what to do, you've got the structure and the discipline and the consistency, boom, I promise you 6 to 8 weeks from now, your life will look completely different. And this is why my bulletproof reprogramming system is literally the foundation of what I get every client to do. I don't care if they've not made one sale in their business. This is what they do. I don't care if they're already at 100K months and want to shift into 250K months. It doesn't matter what level they come in on. This is the foundational work because no matter where anyone's at, their next income level or their next visibility level or their next goal is going to require them to become a different identity and energetically align with the version of themselves who has the stuff and the things in that other reality, okay? And the importance of why we do this is because this is about feeling good in the now before the thing manifests. This is about taking away the charge of, I don't have the thing, I feel like shit. Great, feeling like shit is gonna keep perpetuating the same reality, feeling like shit, right? So this is about, I feel so good in the now, wow. And the money hasn't even come in. That's amazing, because when you hold the internal smile over a period of 6 to 8 weeks, right? Newtonian law, time delay, tells us that your outer world must conform to your dominant internal state of being, period. Right? This is not woo-woo, this is science. And why we want to do this as well is we're building that trust and that certainty from the inside. And we want to do this because the more trust and certainty we have on the inside, the more risks that you are more likely to take on the outside, okay? Because shifting into your 10K, 20K, 100K months, I know I'm making these podcasts about money, but it's anything that you want to manifest. Shifting into that other reality is going to take you to do something different. And you're not going to do anything differently unless you change who you believe you are. So unless you shift your dominant programming frequency, nothing's going to change. So build the trust, build the conviction, build the certainty internally. All of a sudden, you're counteracting the risks you have to take on the outside to manifest that reality. Quick pause, legend. If you're loving this episode, you need to watch the Manifestation Game movie. It's not just a film, it's an activation. If you've ever felt like you're doing all the things, vision boards, affirmations, rituals, but you're still not seeing results, this movie will shift your frequency, rewire your beliefs, and give you the missing codes. Watch it now using the link in the show notes. Now back to the episode. So, my morning routine, I'm going to give you my updated now morning routine, which is a little bit updated from 9 years ago. So every day I'll wake up. Yes, I drink coffee. Maybe when I'm vibrating in the fifth dimension in the earth, I won't need coffee anymore. But at the moment, I do have a morning coffee, okay? And after my coffee, I'm the kind of person, like, I can't meditate. I can't do anything until I move my body, right? So I do my coffee, I get into my gym gear. I either drive myself to the gym, so it'll be any sort of movement. So it's either gym or I'll go for a run. But mostly I'd say 5 times a week I'll go to the gym. So it's movement. Okay, shifting my little subatomic particles. I'll go to the gym and I'll do my workout. This mainly consists of weights and running, sprint, interval, and the treadmill, whatever. While I'm doing weights, right, I will plug into my headphones and I will listen to my 10-minute audio that I've created of my self-concept. So I'm literally creating a felt internal experience as I'm moving. Tony Robbins talks about this a lot. When you're aligning your physiology with your incantations, it actually ingrains into your cells, into your nervous system faster. So I'm using movement and I'm doing weights as I'm looking at myself in the mirror and I'm saying things like, well, I'm not going to tell you what I say because that's my private self-concept. But you do get plug and play access to everything in any of my containers, just letting you know. And I'm really vulnerable with my clients, by the way. I send them my self-concept. And some of the things I say in there and the audios I send them, they're like, wow, I can't believe you're sharing this with us. So this is about you. Like, this is not a time to be like, wishy-washy, like really claiming that self-concept and doing like a holistic version. Then as soon as I finish that, so I was like, great, I finished movement and self-concept. I get home and I do the thing that I used to, not anymore, that I used to avoid the most, which is meditation. So straight away, before I showered, before I do anything, I literally put myself into a room and I go into 22 minutes of silent meditation, okay? So this is transcendental meditation. It's also known as Vedic meditation. It's where you have a mantra, you repeat it silently in your head, and the aim is to go into that transcendent space of everything and nothing. And sometimes my meditations are 22 minutes of absolute mind chitter chatter. There is no such thing as a bad meditation. I have just married to that belief that even if the entire 22 minutes is a whole lot of chitter chatter, great. I've purged and I've made space for stress to be released in those 22 minutes, which means my brain has more capacity and tranquility throughout the day. Straight after meditation, which I sometimes still find hard and want to avoid, okay, I'm human, I go into reading out my magical script, which is basically me speaking out loud, abracadabra, the timeline that I'm choosing to step into. And I'll go into business, launches, my podcast, how it was received, my relationship is like, all of it. Like I'll go into every area of my life and I'm speaking out aloud the timeline that I'm activating. So again, ingraining the subconscious mind through repetition. Okay, I'm speaking it with conviction, with passion. Then I'll go into something called my identity activation script, which is kind of like self-concept, but I'm focusing on my identity and I'm saying it out loud. Then I'll go into belief rewiring, which we kind of touched in another episode, basically where I look at any beliefs that potentially aren't really in alignment with what I want to create, any fears, any blocks, any niggling little fears. And then I'm like, well, what do I want to believe? I want to believe X, Y, and Z about my business. I want to believe X, Y, and Z about my money. And I'll get really clear on maybe 1 or 2 beliefs that I'm rewiring every month. And it basically looks like me circulating between 2 different beliefs and saying it over and over and over and over again and cycling between them with a song playing out in the background. I usually pick a really cinematic, emotive song to engage my heart. Then I'll go straight into quality questions. What are quality questions? Quality questions are, why am I so magnetic? Why are these podcast episodes so freaking potent? Why is my energy off the charts? Why is it so easy to attract soulmate clients into all of my programs? Why am I vibrating so high every day? Universe, how does it get even better than this? Show me I'm ready. So you are asking your subconscious mind questions so it goes and finds the answer for you. There's a lot more science behind this, but I'm not going to go into it. Maybe I'll do an episode, a whole thing on quality questions because there's a preset position in there and it uses NLP. Then I'll create my grid. We get a bit galactic. I call them my alien friends. I set my intentions. I do light language. Then I will plug into vibe boosters throughout the day to ensure that I stay into heart-brain coherence all throughout my day. That's literally my entire morning routine, guys. And, I know some of you are going to be like, oh my God, that sounds great. Oh my God, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. And awesome. You know what? It is my highest intention if, you want to update and you want to, really have a crack at this at your own and do it. Amazing. And I know for me, nothing really changed until I had that structure, until I really knew what I was doing consistently on a daily basis. So if you over the guessing games and you want plug and play templates and, access to everything that I've been using, this is going to be a game changer for you. And like I said, this is the foundation that I do with any of my clients. That some clients come in and within 5 days, they've got quantum leaps in their business. Other clients, I'm going to be honest, it does take 6 to 8 consistent weeks before they start seeing changes. So I love you. Go update your little bits and pieces. And if you're ready to rock and roll, you know what to do, baby. Thanks for tuning into the manifestation game. If this episode activated something inside of you, please leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And don't forget to subscribe on YouTube so you never miss a drop. Because as you know, my mission is to raise the vibration of humanity on a global scale. So the more people that this reaches, the faster we shift into the new earth. For more daily downloads and frequency shifts, come find me on social media at Alex Tripod. Let's keep manifesting the shit out of life.